Good morning, students. In this video, I am going to tell you about silicon wafer manufacturing. So, before I start with this video, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to cover in this video. So, first is introduction about your silicon wafer and silicon, what is its importance in the current scenario and all. Second is some information regarding silicon wafer, where it is being produced and how it is being utilized in the current context. Second, onwards, I will tell you how from your quad score you are going to convert it into metallurgical grade silicon. Then some information related to how furnace for obtaining silicon is being used. Then once you are actually going for this MGS metallurgical grade silicon, it need to be purified using Siemens process, and then your journey from metallurgical grade silicon to electronic grade silicon. So in this picture, you can see this is your sand, and after sand, you are going for a particular process of crystal formation, and crystal is being formed. So this is a very beautiful journey, and I'm going to tell you about this in the coming slides. So this is the first step in integrated circuit fabrication, and its main utility is to prepare a high purity single crystal silicon wafer. But all of this is not being done at once. It is going through several processes. Though this is the starting input to the fabrication of IC. This is the first step, rather we can say. So typically, silicon wafer refers to a single crystal of silicon with a specific orientation, dopant type, and resistivity. So when we talk about silicon crystal specific orientation, you are all aware of Miller indices 111 and 100, that how crystals are atoms in a crystal are being oriented. So that is related to that. After that, what kind of doping we are actually using, N type, P type, or N plus, P plus, N plus plus, and P plus plus, that is being uh, given, and we look forward for that. And how you are actually using that for a particular resistivity. So all these things are actually being discussed. So typically silicon 100 and 111 wafers are used. The numbers 110 and refers to the orientation of the plane parallel to the surface. So why we are actually choosing these two? Because after a silicon wafer, we are actually going to go for several processes like oxidation, lithography. So these orientations favor a lot to these processes. So that's why we are using these orientations. The wafer we actually produced is bounded to have some structural defects. Also, some dislocations might be there, but they should be under below permissible level, and impurity should be some level in parts per billion and should be under acceptable level. So that is not of concern right now, but we should be aware that electronic grade silicon does not mean that it is completely pure. It is having some impurities and dislocations and structural defects, but that is within limits. So silicon starts as a beach and sands quartiles. So this is the raw material for silicon wafer. So the silicon used in solar industry is of lower grade, while that of your IC industry is of high grade. China is dominating in polycrystalline solar grade, and its production is almost 4.6 megatons. And Japan makes 46% of the chip grade silicon wafers. So whatever we are using, having a lot of contribution from these two countries as far as solar and ICs are being concerned. The good thing about silicon is it is the second most abundant element in the Earth's crust. The source material for the extraction of silicon is silicon dioxide, the major constituent of the sand. We call it quartzite or silicate. The silicon is extracted by reduced crystalline form of silicon dioxide in large arc furnace. So you are already aware of how a ore can be used to extract a particular material. So we are going to discuss this process in the coming slides. So this is the first step, that how from quartz, from the ore, you are actually getting your metallurgical grade silicon. So the starting material of silicon manufacture is quartzite, SiO2 or sand. So here you can see that ore is reduced to silicon by mixing with coke and heating in a submerged electrode arc furnace. So this is being mixed, and because of that reaction, what happens? Your silicon oxide reacts with excess carbon to form silicon carbide. At high temperature, the silicon carbide reduces to silicon. So this actually gives you production of metallurgical grade silicon in this process by carbon. And the reaction corresponding to this is silicon carbide plus silicon oxide. This gives you liquid silicon, and silicon oxide is a gas and carbon monoxide is a gas. They escapes through the chamber. The silicon liquid formed is removed from the bottom of the furnace. So this is just a overview what has actually happened. So being an electronics engineer, you should be aware that from where the journey of your IC starts. So the silicon which is being produced in this process is actually metallurgical grade silicon, and it is 98% pure. Also, this is not of crystalline form, it is amorphous in nature. So here you can see this is schematic of submerged electrode arc furnace for production of metallurgical grade silicon. So here you can see in this furnace we are actually putting quartzite, raw material, coal, coke, and wood chips into this, and this is being done at a very high temperature, 1600 degrees Celsius, and this goes through a reaction. And from this reaction, what happens? Whatever residue is will escape through here, and whatever liquid silicon will settle at the bottom, and it is being discharged and used as MGS. So this is the one of the process by which we are actually getting your metallurgical grade silicon using this furnace. So a lot of heat is involved in this process, but this is being used to get your metallurgical grade silicon. So next is your MGS, metallurgical grade silicon, as already discussed, is 98% pure. So it cannot be readily used to get being used in IC industry. So to utilize it, what can be done? That your process is being required to convert this into electronic grade silicon, which is 99.999% pure. So the process goes like that. So here you are having a silicon, metallurgical grade silicon, along with hydrochloric acid, and hydrochlorination is being done. So why it is being done? So to get all the impurities to react with this acid, and they are being taken. So here you can see tri hydrochlorosilane is there. So distillation is being done. So distillation happens. So low boiling point impurities will be taken out, and this will be taken out, and trihydrochlorine is there. It is being entered into the chamber, and from there you can see vaporization of this is being done, and silicon will be taken out. In the meanwhile, whatever is being residue, to increase the efficiency, to reduce the wastage, this is being go through this uh, process of what we can say recycling process. So this is being taken tetrachlorosilane, and this again hydrogen and HCl is being mixed, And here you can see HCl is being recovered. This can be used once again through the process, and hydrogen is being further added, and then you will getting silicon tetrahydrochloride. A trichlorosilane is being involved in this through recycling process. So this saves a lot of silicon being wasted, and again it is being utilized to get a electronic grade silicon. So this is a chemical process. So no need to get into much details. But I want you people to just aware of what is happening, how hydrochlorination of this is being taken, that distillation is being done, and you already aware of distillation. Then we go for recycling of this to avoid the unnecessary wastage of your silicon, and using this process we are actually getting electronic grade silicon. So this particular process is called Siemens process, although there are certain other processes that can be used to do that, but they are not getting much importance. Only Silane process currently getting some importance these days. Otherwise Siemens process is being preferred. So this is actually the reactor in which your silicon deposition is being done. So here you can see this is your silicon slim rods. This is a reaction chamber, and this is current. So your trihydrochlorosilane is being entered into this, and silicon is being deposited onto this. So this is quite useful. So the material that is the end product of this is amorphous in nature, so that need to be crystallized according to particular orientation. So Silane processes, alternative process can be utilized to do this particular thing, that is to obtain from EGS from MGS, but not readily used. So this is your electronic grade silicon, you can see, but this is an amorphous in nature, and the final obtained material using these processes electronic grade silicon. This is 99.99% pure, and this is polycrystalline in nature. That means no particular orientation is there, but has much smaller impurity levels, so closer to what is desired in the final single crystal wafer. So this is the entire journey, how from sand you are actually getting your crystal, sorry, not crystal, amorphous silicon EGS. In the coming classes, videos, I will be going to discuss about your process of getting crystal from amorphous silicon. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy the learning. For any doubts, you can always consult me.